What is up, everybody? Core here. Today I'm going to be going over how I'm going to improve this axe from a beginner's perspective. I'm going to give you the raw footage on the mistakes I'm going to make and how I am going to be using kind of beginner techniques and tactics to try to improve, sharpen, and just make this Walmart axe a little bit better. Okay guys, we are not reviewing the cat, we are reviewing the axes. I got this guy at Walmart for about $20. You can see, just based on my beginner knowledge and some videos I watched, the grain orientation, I tried to pick one that was fairly decent. I know you want it like straight up and down, like this way, but this is pretty solid. From my limited knowledge, I mean, it doesn't look like it's poorly made. There is definitely glue underneath this axe. This part right here, you can see glue. So, see, it was an Ozark Trail 1¼ pound head. I'm going to compare it to this Zippo axe that I used in my first video. Here's the length right here. So the handle is about 14, we'll call it 14.5 inches on this Hatchet. So the Zippo saw axe is about 20 inches, but you really only have 17 inches of usable handle on this guy, just because you can't really grab this. It's very uncomfortable. So I had to grab up here. This guy, though, you have basically the entire thing that you can use. Yeah, this is extremely dull. You might be able to do some, you could probably cut with it, to be honest with you. But I have to say, this is actually a fairly nice looking axe. It is covered in some type of oil. You probably can't see it. Maybe up here you can see a little bit, but it is covered in some type of oil. I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure you guys know a little bit better than I do. But so far, I mean, this is the first axe I've ever really had. Besides that one, I do not really like that axe. The saw on that axe is better than the axe itself. So I would have just preferred to just have a saw and then an axe like this versus a 2-in-1, because that axe just, I can pull it out really quick, but all right, so I'm going to kind of show you guys a profile of both these axes here. This profile doesn't look too horrible to me. It's definitely thicker up here to protect it from overstriking and stuff like that. The profile on this axe is essentially horrible. There's no wedge. You can see the difference there on the metal. There's on the Zippo saw axe, there's just it's horrible at cutting, to be honest with you. You can handle some light stuff, but this is just it's really not my favorite at all, to be honest with you. Kind of going based on the feeling of the axe. I'll get into some actual tests and improvements later. This is the axe right here. It really does not look that bad. I mean, for a $20 axe, a hatchet, it's actually, I'm kind of impressed, to be honest with you, at least from my initial impressions. Hopefully it doesn't come loose. I really hope that they didn't just glue the head in and that there's actually some physical wedge or something in there. It's hard to tell because this is like completely black, but I don't feel anything. So hopefully it's not just glued in there, although it could be. So there's kind of 3 main improvements that I want to make. Number 1 I want to sharpen this blade here. Number two, even though I really probably don't need to with this axe, I want to put something here to protect against overstrikes. And the third thing is I want to improve this handle, because I'm probably going to have to sand off all this varnish, and maybe I'll burn it or something. I'm not really sure. But main thing, first things first, I really need to sharpen this guy. All right, guys. Well, you might have noticed a little bit of a time skip. That is because I had to go to the store and get a file here. This is like $10, I think. I really wish I had a clamp, but it is what it is.
Okay, guys, Future Corey here. So, definitely making a lot of mistakes here. Looking back on it, it's kind of painful to watch. So, first thing I should have started with was obviously the file was fine. The angle I was doing it at was improper. And then I also tried using this knife sharpener, which was a stupid mistake because it has a completely different angle. So, yeah, like I said, definitely making mistakes here and sharpening things at the wrong angle, but I do eventually get it. So I just wanted to give you guys that tidbit.
Welcome back, guys. I have migrated over to my computer desk. I am inside. I do not have a hat on anymore, but I did manage to finish up sharpening. It took me a while. I know this process is only going to be, a couple minutes on video, but this is a process just getting this thing sharp, because this is my first time. That has taken me 4 or 5 days. Obviously, not doing it straight, just a couple hours a day. Just because I keep messing it up and I keep doing the wrong angle and then dulling the blade. So I have it at a pretty good spot. Definitely need to work on my ability of sharpening things, but next step, because I feel like I have it sharp enough, next step is going to be getting all this crap off the handle. It's really slick, and I have linseed oil, boiled linseed oil I'm going to put on the handle. Alrighty, well, welcome back, guys. It's a new day. This whole process has taken me about a week-ish, on and off. So I got my hockey tape, finally came, and then my linseed oil. Well, we did 3 coats of linseed oil, boiled linseed oil. It has a pretty decent color now. So I'm going to put this hockey tape on now.
Alright guys, well here's our hatchet. I went ahead and I got this tiny, it's to be honest with you, not the best cover in the world. I already had one of the rivets break off because I threw it, and then the sorry, getting interrupted by geese here. I threw it and then the blade went and got the rivet out. So it's doing its job as long as you don't throw it and intentionally try to get it out. It's been doing a fine job. Hockey tape is holding up. I've used this to split a decent amount of red oak, which is pretty damn hard. I'm gonna split some more here. I don't know if it's just the nature of the red oak, but I cannot get any feather sticks out of it with this. This has split wood actually pretty well, surprisingly well, and it's held up. There's no movement there. Looks like it's holding up under there pretty good so far. And also the steel on this edge is really, really hard. There is no, as far as I can see or feel, no chipping or rolling on it. So far, for a couple improvements, linseed oil on the handle, hockey grip, I'm gonna have to replace this eventually. It is slowly coming off. And a sheath, sharpening it, this thing has done a pretty good job just for pretty light work. You're not gonna be able to split, you know, I found out this the hard way. You're not gonna really be able to split even, let me get a piece. I could probably split it. I'll try to split it and I'll give you guys my best shot here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So this is kind of where we're at here with this. It actually does a pretty good job splitting stuff this size. A tiny little knot right here, so that's why it's not coming. I can get 2 hands on it for power. Okay guys, well, we're at the end of the video now for my beginner improvement to this axe or hatchet. I'm gonna go over some things that I like, some things I don't like, some things that I probably could have done better that I learned. So I'll go through pretty quick. So number one, thing I didn't like, and I do think that there were some at the store that didn't have that vinyl coating or whatever that is on it, so maybe they're fixing that, but that's my first thing. If they're gonna make an axe this cheap and put that on it, and just don't put it on in the first place, so people can put linseed oil or whatever they want on there. One thing I like is how you can see the shape there, how it gets bigger right here. So even without, honestly, I don't really even need the hockey tape. I just did it just so for better grip, and also in case I lose it in the forest, it's bright red. But the grip is really pretty comfortable. I have seen some information that this actually doesn't go all the way through here. It's epoxied at the top, like halfway through here. So mine has held up well so far. I haven't brutalized it. I've used it to cut some of this wood right here, but so far it's held up pretty well. So one thing that I also think is really good is the shape. It has split wood, and I haven't had any overstrikes on it. So the way this is designed is fairly well designed from what I've experienced so far. I also did use this to chop down a pretty small tree. You know, it was about that big, and it took a while, but it got the job done. So I'm also not just using this hatchet. I have another axe around here that's a bigger axe to split the bigger stuff. So this, if isn't gonna do big stuff. Let's just get that out of the way. It's not gonna do big stuff. Last thing that was a little bit frustrating was the steel. This is a good and bad thing, I guess, kind of a double-edged sword. So the steel on the tip is really quite hard. I filed at it for a really long time, and it's still not really very sharp, to be honest with you. And the reason I know that is because the axe another axe I have, I sharpened it with the file, and it got sharp within 15 minutes of me filing it, and it's still quite sharp. So it's really, really hard, maybe brittle if you hit it up against other metal, which I'm obviously not going to do. But just keep that in mind. If you're going to sharpen this Walmart hatchet, I would use some type of machinery instead of trying to do it by hand. It's taken me forever. I haven't gotten a fully sharp blade yet, but maybe that's just a beginner error on my part. Alrighty, well, that's gonna do it, guys. I think that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on this axe. Overall, was it worth $20? Absolutely. Are there better axes for cheaper? Maybe. The only ones I'm really aware of are the Harbor Freight, and the Harbor Freight one, definitely there are things that are better than this. Not only is it cheaper, but I think the handle actually goes all the way through the head instead of going halfway. So time will tell on whether or not that's going to be an issue with this axe. So I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your feedback in the comments from the last 2 videos. So any type of feedback you can give me, anything I'm doing wrong, I'm still learning, I'm still a beginner. So yeah, thank you guys.